Christianity is the world's largest faith. Over 2 billion people from every nation, every culture, every language call themselves followers of Christ. But have you ever wondered, where are the most Christians in the world today? Which countries hold the greatest numbers? And maybe more importantly, why? Tonight, we're going to walk through the top 5 countries with the most Christians and uncover the reasons behind their faith. And as you listen, remember this: behind every statistic is a story. Behind every number is a person, a life touched by Jesus. Let's begin with number 5. Number 5, Brazil. Brazil has more than 200 million Christians, the largest Christian population in all of South America. How did it happen? When Portuguese explorers arrived in the 1500s, they brought Catholicism with them. Over the centuries, Brazil became deeply Catholic, with churches at the center of every community. Today, Brazil is a land where faith fills the streets, in festivals, in music, in celebrations like Carnival, and in pilgrimages to Aparecida, the national shrine of Our Lady. But Brazil's story doesn't stop at Catholicism. In recent decades, there has been an enormous growth of Protestant and evangelical churches. Together, they've made Brazil one of the most vibrant centers of Christianity on earth. When you see a Brazilian football match, you'll often notice players crossing themselves before taking the field. Faith and life are woven together here. Number 4, Mexico. Mexico is home to around 120 million Christians, almost all Catholic. The roots of Christianity in Mexico go back to the 1500s, when Spanish missionaries arrived. But it was the miracle of Our Lady of Guadalupe in 1531 that transformed the country's faith. A poor indigenous man named Juan Diego saw a vision of Mary, who spoke to him in his native Nahuatl language and left her image imprinted on his cloak. That cloak, or tilma, is still displayed in Mexico City today. Because of that miracle, millions of native people embraced Christianity, and to this day, Our Lady of Guadalupe is called the Mother of Mexico. In Mexico, Christianity is not just religion. It is culture, identity, family. It's the cross hanging in kitchens, the processions on feast days, the prayers whispered before meals. Number 3, the Philippines. The Philippines has over 90 million Christians, the largest Christian population in Asia. Why? Because in the 1500s, Spanish missionaries brought the Catholic faith. Over time, Christianity became deeply rooted in Filipino culture. But here's the amazing part. The Philippines is the only majority Christian nation in all of Asia. Surrounded by countries dominated by other religions, the Philippines shines as a beacon of faith in the region. Every January, millions gather for the Feast of the Black Nazarene in Manila, carrying a statue of Christ through the streets. Every Holy Week, towns reenact the Passion of Christ in powerful, emotional rituals. Filipino Christians are also known worldwide for their missionary spirit. Millions of Filipinos work overseas, and wherever they go, they carry their faith with them, filling churches in places like the Middle East, Europe, and America. Number 2, the United States. The United States has about 210 million Christians. From the pilgrims who crossed the Atlantic seeking freedom to worship, to the great awakenings that swept across the land, Christianity has shaped the United States in powerful ways. Today, the U.S. is home to thousands of denominations: Catholic, Protestant, Evangelical, Orthodox, all reflecting the diversity of its people. Christianity is seen in the nation's values, in its music, in its holidays, even in its politics. The words "In God We Trust" are printed on every dollar bill. And while church attendance has declined in recent years, America still exports faith through Christian music, movies, universities, and global missions. The United States shows us both the challenges and the vitality of Christianity in the modern world. Number 1, Nigeria. This may surprise some people, but Nigeria is now home to over 120 million Christians, making it one of the fastest-growing Christian populations in the world. How did Christianity take root here? In the 1800s, missionaries arrived from Europe, spreading the gospel. Over time, millions in Nigeria embraced Christ. Today, Nigerian Christianity is full of life. Churches overflow every Sunday. Worship is filled with music, dancing, and joy. Prayer vigils last through the night. And Nigeria is not only growing in numbers, it is sending missionaries abroad, even to countries that once sent missionaries to them. Of course, Nigerian Christians also face persecution, especially in the north, where conflict with extremist groups has taken many lives. But even in suffering, their faith grows stronger. Nigeria's story reminds us that Christianity is not dying, it is alive and flourishing, especially in the global south. So there you have it, the top 5 countries with the most Christians today: Brazil, Mexico, the Philippines, the United States, and Nigeria. Each country has its own history, its own reasons, its own miracles, but what unites them is one name: Jesus. Behind the billions of believers are stories of people who found hope, healing, and salvation in Him. And here's the truth: Christianity is not just about numbers, it's about love. It's about faith that crosses oceans, cultures, and centuries. When you hear that Brazil has 200 million Christians, or that Nigeria's churches are overflowing, remember this: each one of those people is a child of God, called by name, loved without end. And maybe the real question isn't where are the most Christians? Maybe the real question is, what about us? Will we live our faith with the same fire, the same courage, the same joy? Because the story of Christianity isn't finished. It's still being written, and you and I are part of it.